Many believe that what happened in the Garden of Eden was sexual intercourse, and they phrase it as the fruit that was taken, the forbidden fruit. Well, this is not right. This is not correct. What happened in the garden, if you say that it was sexual intercourse, then that means that the Bible is wrong. The Bible is lying, because the Bible is very clear that it is the fruit. Well, let me tell you how it started. When Satan came in a form of a serpent in the Garden of Eden, this is what happened. Because of course Eve cannot, if it was sexual intercourse, Eve couldn't take it with a snake. So this changes everything. But when we go the Bible way to understand this, first, let's go to the book of it is Genesis 6:1, whereby the angels, this is to say, the sons of God, the Bible says, the sons of God came and took wives of themselves. Notice, they took wives. They did not marry. They did not seduce, something like that, conning, like how we phrase it. They took. That means that they took by force. They took, and they took for themselves. They saw the women on this planet were beautiful, not beautiful like same beautiful. Because remember, this if we say that they married, the angel, the spiritual, the heavenly beings don't have flesh. They are spirits. Because now if we say that they married, this contains flesh, and they are spirits. That means they came and they took. That means that they had a certain technology. They had a kind of technology that they used. They have a kind of technology that they used to make sexual intercourse with the flesh beings, the ladies here on the planet. Now let's go back to the Genesis, where Satan came. And if we say that it was sexual intercourse, because the Bible says that Adam and Eve, they went to bed after the Garden of Eden, after they were chased out of the garden, the presence of God. People, when you tell them that when they hear the Garden of Eden, they think that it was a big garden. The Bible simply says that there was a small spot in the Garden of Eden. That means that it's a spot, an orchard in the Garden of Eden. Orchard is like something like a nursery bed. So there was a place where is the presence of God in the Garden of Eden. It was not the full garden that God was like Adam was enjoying enjoying the whole garden. No, it was just a small spot, but it was in the Garden of Eden. So when Satan came in the form of a snake, of course he saw Eve. He realized something about Eve. In this realization, he realized the differences between Adam and Eve. Now he saw that Eve was easy, was easy to be manipulated, to be played with, something like that, let me say. So he asked, didn't God tell you, as you know, now he passed through the kind of fruit, wise the fruit that he may get a chance to find ways of of seducing Eve in another way. But besides that, the Garden of Eden, let's go to science now. In science, there is what we call heteropaternal superfecundation. Now, this is a kind of fertilization where two or more ova from the same menstrual cycle, you understand, from the same menstrual cycle, by sperm from the same or more males. This is to say, if sperms go into the fallopian tube to go fertilize the ovum, well, it can fertilize the ovum, but still another sperm can go and fertilize another ovum, but in the same menstrual cycle, in the same one human, let me say one woman. Now, note the same or different male. Note that. That means that a woman can get children, twins of different men, of two different men, not same. Same is, yes, it's possible, but even for the second male, it's possible. Now here we go back to the Garden of Eden. Well, this is tricky, but if you want to understand, you can follow it up, or you can send me a question in the comment section, and I'll make sure that I'll answer it. See, Satan used this chance. He used the same technology in the Genesis 6:1, the same technology that the beings of heaven came to take wives of themselves. Note this, they did not marry. It was by force. They took and they fertilized them in a way that they did. Now this is the same thing. Remember, Satan was a heavenly being, even in the Genesis, the very Genesis, in the Garden of Eden. He came in a form as a serpent. This is not to say that he came as a serpent, but it was in the form of a serpent. So God, as he was punishing the snake, it did mean that I'm punishing you, snake, you are the serpent. The snake was punished because it was used by Satan. It was the main reason as to why it was punished. Not that it is being punished because of Satan, because it was Satan. No. You understand? Now, this same technology that Satan used is the same technology as the heavenly beings used to take for themselves. This means that Satan, there is a way that he fertilized, he made it possible through the fruit to fertilize an ovum of Eve. Meaning, this is to say that Eve went out of the garden when Eve was pregnant for Satan. It's complicated. I know now I'm complicating. Many of you are not understanding this, but if you read the scriptures, you'll find out what I'm talking about. So after that, then the Bible says that now Eve and Adam slept together for the very first time after the Garden of Eden. And they got their sons, Cain and what? Cain and Abel. This is the reason as to why Cain was of a different, you understand, different understandings. So that's when Satan stole dominion of this earth. You remember, this earth and heavens were created for human. Now many of you have been asking, how did Satan take dominion? How did Satan take charge of this world? This is the only way that he took dominion, whereby God was faithful enough to give the whole earth to human. That is why even God chose not to mold Eve, because Adam was asleep. The earth belonged to Adam. So God had no way to ask Adam, had no way to mold Eve in the clay, yet Adam was asleep. That's why God removed Eve from Adam, because God still owned Adam, but Adam owned the land, the earth. God is faithful enough. Very faithful. That's why he was still faithful, that he did not refuse that Satan has taken dominion, let me come. No, he went through process. That's why God himself had to come on this earth by means of a human being, that he may gain dominion as a human being, that he may gain dominion, that he may get, you understand this, that he may also get dominion as a human being. That's why it's very, very important that Jesus came as a human being, because this earth, this world belonged to a human being.